Have you ever wondered what it takes to change the course of history, to stand up and say, enough is enough? Let's journey back to the year 1929, to the southern state of Atlanta, Georgia. This is where our story begins, with the birth of a boy named Martin Luther King Jr., born into a deeply religious family. Young Martin was a bright spark, shining with promise. An exceptional scholar, he was a beacon of hope and intelligence in a time of great uncertainty. But even in his early years, he could not escape the bitter sting of racism. His first encounter with prejudice was a harsh awakening, a cruel introduction to the world as it was. This encounter with the harsh realities of prejudice, would ignite a fire within him. A fire that would burn brighter with each passing year, driving him forward on a path towards justice. King's encounter with prejudice lit the first spark of his lifelong crusade for equality. Imagine a world where the color of your skin defines your worth. This was the world King decided to challenge. Martin Luther King Jr., a name synonymous with the fight for equality, played a pivotal role in the American civil rights movement. His journey into the heart of this movement began with an incident that shook the nation in 1955, the Montgomery bus boycott. It was here that King first stepped onto the battleground of civil rights, standing against the unjust segregation laws that plagued public transportation. As a newly elected leader of the Montgomery Improvement Association, King's charismatic oratory and unwavering commitment to the cause quickly gained him recognition. He became a beacon of hope for many, a symbol of resistance against an oppressive system. King's leadership was unique, diverging from the path of violent rebellion. His strategy was one of non-violent resistance, a tactic inspired by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. King believed in the power of peaceful protest. He understood that violence only begot more violence, creating a cycle of hatred and fear. His non-violent approach was not a sign of weakness, but a display of immense strength. It required courage to face the brutality of police batons and fire hoses, to endure unjust arrests and threats. Yet, King and his followers stood their ground, their conviction unwavering. Their peaceful protests, sit-ins and marches became a powerful weapon, one that caught the nation's attention. King's eloquent speeches echoed across the land, stirring the hearts of millions. His words, imbued with the essence of equality and freedom, challenged the status quo. They made people question, reflect, and most importantly, act. King's leadership and his peaceful protest methods shook the very foundations of racial segregation. His actions brought the plight of African Americans into the national spotlight, forcing the country to confront its own prejudices and institutionalized discrimination. King's powerful words and peaceful protest methods brought national attention to the struggle for civil rights. His voice became a rallying cry for change, a beacon of hope in the dark. A fight had begun, a fight for equality, a fight that continues to this day. It was on August 28, 1963, when King's dream echoed across the Lincoln Memorial and into the hearts of millions. On that day, a man with a vision stood before a sea of faces and dared to dream of a world where all men were created equal. His words, "I have a dream," were not just a proclamation but a beacon of hope for all those who yearned for equality and justice. King's famous speech was not just a landmark moment in the civil rights movement, but a turning point in history. His compelling words and unwavering conviction struck a chord with millions, sparking a flame that would ignite a revolution. Today, more than 6 decades later, his dream continues to inspire, to fuel the fight for equality and justice around the world. King's dream was not only for his generation, but for all future generations to come. King's life was tragically cut short, but his dream did not die with him. In 1968, on a balcony in Memphis, we lost a beacon of hope, a man who dared to dream of a future where all men are truly equal. Yet, in the heartache of his absence, his dream persisted, echoing through the generations. His legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of those who continue his fight for equality. His dream remains as relevant today as it was on that sweltering summer day at the Lincoln Memorial. It is an ongoing call to action, a plea for justice, a cry for equality. It's a dream that continues to shape our world, to challenge our beliefs, to stir our collective conscience. Today we honor King's memory by striving for equality in our own lives. So ask yourself, what can you do to make his dream a reality?